We have some news right now. Medical concerns about the President of the United States, Donald Trump, are emerging again today following a press conference in the Oval Office where Donald Trump had visible bruising on one of his hands. This is an image from today's press conference in the Oval Office. As you can see on his right hand, it is extremely bruised. Now, previously, he would cover this up with makeup or something else. But look at his right hand. This is my right hand. You don't see the same visible bruising. Now, the White House has previously shook this off as saying that he just shakes too many hands, and as a result of his constant handshakes, he gets bruising. This could also be because of age. He is almost 80 years old, and so many have speculated that because of his old age, he gets easily bruised. Now, obviously, we don't know fully what's happening with the president's medical history. He seems completely fine right now, but there is still speculation online that this bruising could be something more serious, although nothing has been confirmed. So please do not speculate about anything right now. But the bruising remains there, so spread the word and follow along for more. We have some news right now. Donald Trump is signing an executive order today attacking those that, quote, desecrate the American flag, pushing the bounds of the First Amendment to the United States Constitution. Flag burning in the United States is constitutionally protected First Amendment speech. But according to Fox News today, this executive order will direct the Attorney General of the United States to prosecute those who violate laws in ways that involve desecrating the flag and to pursue litigation that would clarify the scope of the First Amendment as it relates to flag desecration. In addition, it would consider attacks on the American flag as part of immigration-related proceedings for individuals proceeding through America's immigration system. Essentially, flag burning is completely legal in the United States of America. Donald Trump has long said he wants to make it illegal, and he's going to try to test the bounds of the First Amendment to the United States Constitution in an effort to see how far his administration can go today. So spread the word. I'll have more updates once we have the executive order in hand, and follow along for all the news you need to know about.
Switzerland are quietly preparing for the end of the world. They've been hustling for decades. You wouldn't know it by just looking at them, but underneath around 60% of the Swiss Alps, they've built a city of doomsday bunkers that can protect hundreds of thousands of people in a catastrophic event. In fact, Switzerland is the only country in the world that can house their entire population, 8.7 million people, in a secure bunker. And they're not just old, forgotten World War II structures slowly crumbling away. They are continuously updated and restocked with supplies till this day. You see, Switzerland decided they needed to, excuse the pun, lock in after Germany promised to not invade them during World War II. They not only transformed the peaceful Swiss Alps into an absolute fortress and rigged it with enough explosives to collapse entire mountainsides, but the Swiss government also made it a law for homes, schools, hospitals, and other public buildings to install protective shelters, and that policy remains till this day, meaning the entire country is designed in a way that wherever you go, whether it's a restaurant, a park, or a friend's house, there's always a doomsday bunker nearby. According to official figures, Switzerland currently has around 300,000 bunkers across the country, which can accommodate roughly 9.3 million people. That's over 500,000 more than the country's current population. And once they're safely inside, they can even remotely detonate things like roads, bridges, tunnels, and railways to keep out invaders, or I guess, the unprepared.
We have breaking news right now. ICE has arrested Kilmar Abrego Garcia again, and he now faces possible deportation to Uganda. According to Fox News reporting this morning, Kilmar Abrego Garcia went to an ICE appointment in Maryland today. He was just detained by ICE officials and now faces possible third country deportation. They won't let this man have a sense of peace. If you don't know Kilmar, he was wrongfully deported to El Salvador many months ago. He then was returned back to the United States of America, charged in Tennessee, released on bond by a federal judge, reunited with his family in Maryland. ICE is now trying to deport him again, not to El Salvador, but now to Uganda, potentially a country he has zero connection to. Spread the word so more people know. I'll do a full breakdown on my Substack, linked in bio, so subscribe for free. Follow along for more.
Bro, Pakistan may have just built the strangest bus in the world. It's known as the triple-decker luxury bus, and they've converted this lower luggage section into first-class cabins, and they've even fitted the units with car doors. Now, not only do these cabins come with couches, a personal TV, Wi-Fi, and a telephone, but also you've got your own personal fridge to help you get through the 10-hour journeys in the intense Pakistani heat. And to be fair, even the lower classes are pretty fancy as well. They have carpeted floors, similar lazy boy chairs, curtains for privacy, and personal TVs as well. Now, not too sure Ferrari's gonna approve of this one, but they even plastered their logo right on the front just as an added touch of luxury.
We have some news right now. Donald Trump is once again going after a political opponent, this time Chris Christie, suggesting that Chris Christie might be prosecuted after Donald Trump didn't like the interview Chris Christie gave on ABC News Today. Yes, I am serious. In a new Truth Social post, Donald Trump rages about Chris Christie, saying that he watched sloppy Chris Christie interviewed on George Stephanopoulos' show on ABC News. And then he goes on saying that the Department of Justice should perhaps start looking at the very serious situation again, referring to Bridgegate. He's literally threatening to prosecute Chris Christie because he didn't like Chris Christie's interview on ABC News Today. It's another example of how the President of the United States is using rhetoric that dictators and authoritarians use to go after their political opponents or those they perceive as threats and threaten them with criminal prosecution. And he's not going to stop. Spread the word, subscribe to my Substack at the link in my bio to support my work, and follow along for all the news you need to know about. More to come soon.
Could The Rock actually become the next US president? Well, that's exactly what a lot of people are talking about today, because recently his odds of becoming the Democrats' next presidential nominee have surged on Polymarket above even Michelle Obama and Tim Walz. Now, realistically, his odds are still only sitting at about 2 to 3%, with Gavin Newsom and AOC being by far the top two contenders. But the crazy part is that he's up there without even saying that he's running. He has, although, dropped sneaky little hints. For example, in 2022, a poll came out that 46% of Americans would support his presidential run, and then he revealed that after that poll came out, multiple political parties approached him to see if he would run for US president in 2024. In 2016, he told GQ, "I can't deny the thought of being a governor or president is alluring." And then just a year later, he told Variety that the 2024 presidential campaign was a realistic consideration. Now, he mentioned what stopped him was his kids. He doesn't want them to be dragged into politics. But he still left the door slightly open because he told Trevor Noah in a podcast, if that's
ultimately what the people would want, then of course I would consider it.
And hypothetically, if he did run in 2028, the current odds say that he'd be up against JD Vance. So the question is Dwayne Johnson exactly what the Democrats need right now? Or would AOC and Gavin Newsom be a better option?
We have some big news that no one is talking about. We're now learning that because of the Republican budget bill that was passed earlier this year, Big Oil and Big Gas have been given the green light to essentially start drilling in the Arctic refuge. Now, the law mandates 4 massive lease sales, over 400,000 acres each. That's just within the next few years. This is one of the most sacred and ecologically important places on Earth. It's the Arctic National Wildlife Refuge. And the land, which is nearly 20 million acres in northeast Alaska, it's home to polar bears, Arctic foxes, home to wolves and beluga whales. It's also not just wilderness, it's culture, and it's climate protection, and it's home, because it's home for people and wildlife alike. Now here's the kicker, folks. During Donald Trump's first term, these kind of Arctic lease sales actually brought in less than 1% of the revenue that they promised. So it's not even really good economics. It really is just shaping out to be a giveaway to the fossil fuel industry, all at the expense of the climate. We need to bring more attention to this right now, because right now the Arctic and our public lands are under attack. I won't stop, and neither should you. As always, spread the word and follow along for all the news you need to know about.